the lead says the smoking gun evidence points to United Arab Emirates involvement in the Sudan civil war. Exclusive, it says, discovery of Emirati passports in wreckage suggests covert boots on the ground despite Gulf states' denial. Passports recovered from battlefield in Sudan suggest the United Arab Emirates is covertly putting boots on the ground in the country's devastating civil war, according to leaked documents. A 41-page document sent to the United Nations Security Council and seen by The Guardian contains images of Emirati passports allegedly found in Sudan and leaked to the soldiers of the Rapid Support Force, the nation's notorious paramilitary. The passports are claimed to have been recovered from Omdurman, the city across the Nile from the capital Khartoum, in an area that was held by the RSF, but recently reclaimed by the Sudanese army. Analysts described the discovery as a smoking gun that challenged UAE's denial and raised questions over what the US and the UK know about the level of the Gulf states' involvement in Sudan, whether the West has done enough to rein in the backing of a militia accused of genocide. The former Sudan advisor to the US government, Cameron Hudson, said the West would be obliged to act. This will force Washington to acknowledge what it knows about this and will force them to respond, he said. That is a very interesting scenario, considering this war has now been going on for 15 months. To suddenly then realize the fact that external players are involved after the evacuation of Western expatriates and diplomatic missions. It does. What has changed? What do you think has changed here?
Well, first of all, I mean, it's very disgusting that we're presumed to be, such fools that it would take images from some passports, right? To convince, when we live in an era where some intelligence officers can be sitting in Washington, D.C. and can zoom an aerial drone and see the nationality of all the people who are involved in the fighting in Sudan. So just think about how preposterous this whole article is, it's amazing that in the 21st century,
difficult to
we still talk about 19th century identification markers, is this the Guardian of, 1925? That, we found some, 1940, we found some suspicious Nazi passports,
with swastikas.
So therefore, we see some Nazi link involved. It's just amazing, right? I mean, come up with something better. But it could be that the scale of the killing is just so tremendous. And I wouldn't be surprised. Of course, they already know because they have the satellite capabilities.
True.
So maybe a story is about to come about just recently discovered mass graves. That could be.
Yeah.
Yes. So it could be some news that is horrific, that is already known, that is about to leak out or be reported. So they're now openly putting pressure on UAE. When they start talking about not having a choice but to take action, it means the conversations have already happened, you see?
Facts.
They've already decided that they can't just stand idly by. It could be the body count. You ask a very compelling and interesting question. This has been going on, as you said, for 15 months.
Yeah.
People have been killed. So what is now new? Right? You know, what is now new? Maybe some of these agencies are preparing like a major press conference to reveal more scenes from these mass graves and so on. But something is about to give ground. And but also, before we sign off on this particular conflict, I have to really go back to this whole anti-Black, anti-African racism component involved in this conflict. You know, particularly from the Rapid Support Force, the RSF, when, you know, historically had been linked to the so-called Janjaweed back in the day, and associated with the Darfur massacres of genocide, targeting particularly richly melanated Sudanese and Africans. That, to me, is just, we need a whole conversation on that. One day we should plan a conversation, but not today. But I just wanted to mention that briefly.
Yeah. I mean, we might even bring in someone from Sudan to, you know, help
definitely.
us. Yeah. I mean, it's the difficult part of Africa's history has been the issue of bodies, of people being set against each other in order to allow for access to either resources or to control a certain area. And it's the same old playbook, just like the story we did earlier on Kenya, which is